anymore. But you see corollary moral panics and credulity and fake news right now. So
I think now we've just regressed back as a society to the point where it's now just back to like being anti-immigrant or being anti-atheist or being anti-brown people or whatever. You know what I mean? That seems to be like the panic in our society now, is that we're trying to make America some sort of great that it never was.
Yeah, professional athletes protesting.
Yeah,
has our
hackles up.
Yeah.
And that's like one of my episodes on this podcast was an hour of talking about the national anthem's history.
Right.
Its very detailed history as a protest song, and its reactions when it was put on electric guitar, and I think in the same way that nobody looked in the same way that you could look at satire of backward masking and Satanism in 1985 at the same time that the Tipper Gores of the world, a Democrat wife, were seeing it in a very literal sense. There were two cultural conversations going on. The same thing is happening. The people who are bent out of shape about the national anthem don't care about the history of the national anthem and how it was used by abolitionists in the day, and how actually it wasn't used in the NFL until the 80s. In the 70s, sometimes they would play America the Beautiful, or sometimes they wouldn't play anything before the game.
Yeah.
It's this America idea that we keep waking up into our own innocence and thinking that that suddenly this new thing is going to bring us down.
I think also I'm of the opinion that music has become much more disposable. It's not something that you do have people who collect vinyl, but for the average person, I mean, think about the people who and Haydn brings this up in his book as well. Thriller, how many people were going out in 1983 and 82 and buying a copy of Thriller a week? It was in every home. Or Pyromania, right? Now it's on Spotify. Now music is piped in at the gas station.
Even if you own a copy, it's still not a physical copy.
Right. So it's become this sort of disposable thing, and it doesn't unite us in the same way. I'm not buying a copy of Dark Side of the Moon and saying to you guys, hey, why don't you guys come over? I'm going to crack this open and we'll sit down and listen to it. It is, you listen to it on your computer.
Right.
You listen to it in your car.
You get a text and someone sent you a link to a YouTube video of it.
Exactly.
That you can watch on your tinny little crappy phone.
Yeah. So it doesn't have that same overwhelming kind of capacity, I think, to unite people, whereas something you see on TV, a meme on the internet,
right,
what have you, that's much more
I read
strange.
I read something recently. I don't know if it was Haydn, but it was a similar sentiment that basically he confessed that he had a more intimate relationship with albums that he hated in 1990 than his favorite albums of 2018.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
And that ties into we talk about how this backward masking book is sort of a folk product of 1983. Well, so was the cover of Thriller. When you went to the store and bought Thriller and played it, you didn't look at stuff on your phone. You opened the album cover.
Yeah.
It was folk literature. It was folk art, and you looked at every single detail of the album cover of Thriller.